I'm just trying to find my own video on my channel and I can't, which is really strange because that's how I look at the comments, and for some reason it's not there. Uploads, upcoming live streams. Oh, there's a drop down for upcoming live streams. Let's see if it's here. This channel has no videos. Live now. Yeah, here we are. Okay, sorry about that. Let's just have a look and see if anyone's here yet. O'Brien's here. He says, Alexa, play Europe, the final countdown. Okay, yeah, sorry I was a bit late. Oh, Rich is here. Hi, Rich. And Lizzie, and Elaine, and Courtney. Hello, Courtney. I don't know if we've spoken before, but welcome. And we have John and Chris and Tony as well. I'm getting really hot, but my t-shirt under here, well, it's just a vest top. It's pretty gross. I can't take this off. Rich is wearing egoist or egg hoist. Good choice. Tony's watching whilst washing up. Christy's here. Lizzie just by chance glanced at YouTube and Queen Bean is live. Yay, Lizzie! Yeah, I've got the samples you sent me, so we're going to smell those. It's got to be a quickie because I've got someone coming round at 6 PM to buy something from me. So just a quickie, but we're going to sniff as much as we can. I've got a couple of extras as well if there's time, some randoms to sniff. Catty's outside but present. You are marked on the register, Catty. Thanks for joining. And Rich Mitch says it's illegal. What's illegal? Christy's wearing a Soliflor, a straight osmanthus. Lovely. Not my favourite, no. It's that weird apricot leathery thing. I just don't seem to like fragrances with osmanthus in. But I know that it's popular. Tony's wearing a sweet pastry in Paris from Zara, review done with Phoebe. Oh, brilliant, can't wait for that. Lizzie is about to drive but watching silently. Will you pay attention to the road, Lizzie? You can watch it back later, but you can listen. You can listen, don't look. And Brian says he's wearing Lorga Musk Palawan, which sounds like it should be in Star Wars. It certainly does. Cassie's wearing Gentle Fluidity Gold, inspired by Lizzie B. I've got a sample of that from Lizzie actually last time she sent me samples. Chris is wearing Acro Awake today. I think that was the coffee one that you used to keep you awake. So let's just get started. If you haven't shared your scent of the day, do go ahead and do so. I'll show you mine. And it's not what you think for a change. I've got my insolence on. I've just used up another bottle and I went to my backup storage and I've got 3 bottles. I've got these 2 50ml and a 30ml boxed my insolence, but these are different bottle styles. So this has a white band around it with the my insolence sort of carved out, and then this one is white writing with no band. So ages ago someone asked me if there's any difference between the different formulations or the different bottle styles of my insolence, and I've been testing today because I'm such a geek, and I don't think there is, quite frankly. I don't think there's any difference at all between any of the my insolence bottle styles. So there's that, and that was my scent of today. And I have layered a bit of Miss Dior over the top of my insolence, but now I'm going to chuck on some more my insolence because I want to smell it. Love it. My insolence. Do you know what it smells like? I'll just very quickly tell you, but you might have heard me say it before. It's mostly it's vanilla when it finally dries. When it dries down, it's definitely a vanilla dominant scent, but it's very musky and clean. There's some orange blossom and almond blossom. Almond blossom, I think what that means is it smells a little bit almondy, but it's very light and fluffy, kind of mingles with the musk, so it's not like heavy marzipan scent. It's a much lighter almondy type note, which I really love. So that's what I'm wearing. Courtney says, hope you and your kitty are feeling better. Yes, Courtney, thank you so much. I'm fully recovered. Sweetie's over her issues as well. She now just needs some teeth extracted, which we're going to do in about a week's time. Just got to put that in, but she's got to have a few teeth out because they're a bit manky, but she's fine, she's eating well, so it's not really affecting her, but we might as well get it done. She's just had a blood test, so we know that she's doing well kidney wise, so it makes sense to do an operation now, otherwise I have to have another blood test, so I'd rather not do that. Okay, who have we got? Scotty's here. Scotty Bean, hi Scott. Finally, I sent your samples. I did it today. Productive as AF. Productive today. Got loads done, including your samples, so they are on their way. Perfumes with Pat says hello, hiya. And who else have we got? What are you all saying? Oh, Katie says greetings from old man Robert who needs teeth pulling this month too. Oh dear, not good. Robert's been putting you through it lately, hasn't he? And just double check I'm not missing anything. Elaine's wearing Stella Eau de Toilette, not impressed. Oh, that's a shame. I like all the iterations of Stella, although the older formulations were pretty special. I think they've lost a little bit of their sparkle. Jon Snow's wearing Killian Good Girl Gone Bad Oh Fresh. I think that's what you're saying. And then Brian says, get Sweetie a golden tooth with a Fragdicted logo in diamonds. There's a good idea, yeah. Maybe we'll get Tony to sponsor that. Okay, right, so let's start sniffing because we have a short time. So we're going to go with Vernee Violet from Les Senteurs. So Lizzie Bean sent me violet scented perfume. She sent me, I don't know if they're all violety. Let's have a look. That one's violety. That one's violety. That's probably not violety, I don't think. And that's not. Right, so, okay, we've got 3 violety perfumes and then a couple of other things if there's time. So we're going to start with, it's Les Senteurs. They are an affordable niche house that specialise in gourmand fragrances, usually vanillic, very vanillic fragrances. Very nice, and they are affordable. And they're usually quite mass appealing, obviously quite sweet. And this one, Vernee Violet, obviously it's going to have violet and vanilla in it. And what I find sometimes when violet is tinged with sweeter notes like chocolate and vanilla, I get, for some reason, I feel that it turns the violet soapy, or it adds a soapy element to the fragrance. Because I've had that with Paul Kyler's, a PK Parfums chocolate violet, violet chocolate, yeah. The chocolate violet one from PK Parfums, that has like a soapy feel to it. And I've noticed it in a few other violet sweet perfumes. And I don't always appreciate or enjoy when a fragrance turns soapy. I'm not entirely certain that soapy is the right word. This fragrance smells to me like a candle that I used to have, and I loved this candle. It was called Bomb Cosmetics. They're a small UK brand. They're not mega small because you find them in quite a lot of bigger stores. They make really nice little tin candles. You know, the ones that have like looks like marshmallows around the top. They're usually nice colours, very attractive, very bright colours, all these different flavours and smells. And I had this one, I can't remember what it's called, I really loved it. And this reminds me of that. It's got this powdery, almost soapy, almost head shoppy kind of smell to it. So Brandon's here. Hi Brandoni. It's hashtag Bean Sprayers. Just a quick hello back to work. Don't work too hard, Brandon. So yeah, to me this smells almost like I'm thinking 60s. Not that it smells like patchouli or anything, but it's kind of like I'm getting head shop vibes from it, without it necessarily. It's almost like dried incense, or incense that's not been lit, but the very floral stuff, very powdery, very floral. So this is nice, but to me I would rather it as a home fragrance, a candle. As a candle I would absolutely adore it. I just don't quite love it that I want to. I have tried all of these on skin, Yeah, I don't quite love it enough that I want to buy it and wear it, but I like it. I just, in my opinion, I just prefer it as a home fragrance. But it is nice. It's quite a sweet vanilla. I guess you would call it the cakey kind of vanilla, and the violet just blends with it, and it goes quite powdery and to me soapy. But whether or not it's really soap, or more my memory of something that's making me feel like it's soapy. So it's not necessarily that it smells like a bar of soap, but it's maybe reminding me of maybe like Lush bath bombs, soapy kind of stuff. Yeah, Lush bath bombs, crushed up Lush bath bombs, that kind of thing. It's almost it's a bit like walking into a Lush shop. That's what I think it is. So there, that's the Les Untitled Violet Vernee, or Vernee Violet. Lewis says he's got Amaraj Violet Delirium. I believe I tried that and I didn't like it. I couldn't even smell the violet. Yeah, I couldn't figure that one out. Tony says, did someone say cake? Lewis, what do you think of it? Let me know. Elaine, I think I would like that. Okay, yeah, right, let's move to the next one then. The next violet-y one. Now this is a really fascinating fragrance, and I am going to put it on skin because it's not fair. This needs to be on the skin, I think. So just a little bit. It's Violet Firefly, and it is by Tioni Reinthal, TRNP, the Natural Perfumery in Australia. And this one has violet leaf in it. So violet leaf is a slightly different material to violet. So in perfumes, 99.9% of the time, violet scent will come from the synthetic ionones. There's ionones, I think it's alpha, beta. There's different variations of ionones, and they're sort of linked to iris as well. So I think iris has a similar, because iris has irones, I think they have a similar quality. Is why sometimes iris can smell a little bit violety. So then you have violet leaf, and that's what's in here. Now, of course, a natural perfumer can't use ionones, which give you more of a true violet, or maybe you can get like a woodsy kind of violet, whereas violet leaf does smell violety, but it's also got the elements of the leaf, so you get a more of a green feel. Excuse me, my nose is itching. If you want a classic example for violet leaf, then Fahrenheit is a really good one, because it's got quite a strong violet leaf note in it. And when I smelt this Violet Firefly, I did think of Fahrenheit quite quickly. Not that it smells exactly like Fahrenheit, far from it, but I noticed that there was an element that was similar, and I believe that's down to the violet leaf. It's kind of fresh and bright, green, grounded, slightly sweet, violety scent. Definitely changes on the skin. Let's catch up on your notes. Empty Sense is here. Hi, Empty Sense. Lily's here, signing in but playing hooky. Just want to pop in and say hello to Claire and everyone. Happy to see that you're doing much better. Scent of the day, MAC Shadow Scents Ruby Woo. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Lily, for popping in. I hope you can catch up later. Always lovely to see you, my dear. Brian says Ganymede is a new violet king for me. I smelt that on my colleague. To me, that was it felt like an aquatic. I didn't really, but I only smelt it, from a distance. I didn't study it. But yeah, I got more of a feel like a fresh aquatic-y kind of thing. Tony says you should be twiddling your fingers while saying iodine. Okay, right, so Violet Firefly, it's called Violet Firefly, and it has almost like a heat element to it. Like Fahrenheit again, Fahrenheit does give off this heat, and I feel like I'm getting a heat. This is a hot fragrance. I don't know if there's a little bit of spice in here warming it up, but it's definitely a very warming violet. It's nothing like your makeup-y type violet scent, nothing like that whatsoever. It's a very bold. It feels like it has a little bit of a backbone. I can't remember the notes. I have looked it up previously, but I can't remember now. It feels like it has a backbone of maybe like a labdanum, a patchouli. It's definitely got some depth sitting underneath that violet leaf hot thing. It's quite sparkling, or not sparkling, but sparky. So I say hot, but imagine like a sparkler going off. Of course, we think fireflies are like little hot bugs that fly around. Now, from reading a little bit about it, the firefly is kind of a Peter Pan reimagined by Tioni Reinfeldt. She said that Firefly was who's the fairy? Who's the fairy in Peter Pan? Tinkerbell. Firefly was Tinkerbell's best friend, but she wasn't allowed to be in the book because she was a drag queen and a little bit saucy and a little bit naughty. So it's kind of like a bit of a reimagined Peter Pan story with, and that's what Violet Firefly is in the description. It's an interesting fragrance. I've smelt nothing like it. Do I love it? No, I don't love it. I don't dislike it. I think it's really good. I don't know why I don't quite love it. Is it because it's a bit green? Maybe. Could be that it's a bit green. Maybe because it doesn't feel sort of vanilla-y like I usually do, and it doesn't feel particularly floral either. So I guess it's not really my genre of fragrances. My favourite notes here, although I absolutely really enjoy this heated, violety, strange thing that's going on here. I think for me, I would just rather smell this on someone else, that's all. It's probably not soft enough for me. At the moment, my taste is, it's really weird. My taste has gone so weird. I'm barely wearing through any of my fragrances, and I'm sticking to wearing Mr. Dior most of the time. So something's happened to me. It's not that I don't like my other fragrances. It was, I wore B from Zoologist the other night and I really enjoyed it. But it was kind of me forcing myself to choose something else apart from my Miss Dior's, my lighter stuff. So there's something weird going on. I've just kind of like, I'm just not feeling wearing a lot of my stuff at the moment. But this is really nice. And of course it's all natural. Blended beautifully, no sharp edges. It doesn't feel like someone's just chucked some essential oils together. Like some all natural perfumes can smell a bit like that. Tioni Reinfeldt is a genius when it comes to blending natural perfumes. So that's Violet Firefly. Brian says regarding Ganymede, it's mineralic, so has an aquatic vibe, also has lots of curry to my nose, but also violet. Okay, well maybe I'll retry it at some point, but it doesn't sound like my thing. Curry notes in perfumes generally put me off. Empty Sense Claire has changed, lol, not really. I have, well, my taste has changed. Right, then let's smell something else. I've got one more violet, and we've got a fragrance du bois, and it's Oud Violet Intense. So I have, as I said, I've tried all of these on skin, because I think it's only fair, but I simply don't have the skin today to do them all. But I'd be interested in what Lizzie says about my feelings about this fragrance, because there's a note in here that I sense as a main note, as a really strong note that's not listed. Lizzie says, I have a feeling this will be a thumbs down. It's okay. We'll get back to where the thumb sits in just a second. Lizzie Bean, do you get coconut from this? I get a really woodsy coconut, specifically the same coconut that I've smelt in a couple of the 4160 Tuesdays fragrances that don't have official coconut notes listed either. And I've seen Sarah McCartney explain before there's a particular material that she used. It's in White Queen. It's really dominant in White Queen, if anyone knows that one. And to me, it was instantly, this is a coconut scent. but there's no coconut material used. But there's something that I perceive, rightly or wrongly, to be coconutty, and a very woodsy coconut. So not like a really sweet flesh of coconut, but more like the shell with just a hint of the flesh coming through. Lizzie says coconut not at all. I get musky woods and dampness, a murky fog like rooty thing. Oh, okay. I can't get past the coconut. Yeah, it's I tell you what, it's like a cedar wood infused with coconut. It's a woodsy coconut to me. I can understand when you say damp, musky woods, but not like damp cloves, not mouldy, not swampy, which are notes that sometimes I pick up on certain things. It's not like that at all. It's almost like the coconut has fallen off the tree and it's sat there for a few days, and it's in the shade and it's a bit cool. Lizzie, I'm not good at this. Claire, you're much better at identifying notes, but really no coconut at all. I don't really enjoy coconut in fragrance generally. It's just perception. Like, I can smell coconut and probably no one else will. And it's also to do with what you've encountered and experienced in life, isn't it? So there's no right and wrong. We've had this conversation before, just like the whole lemon and orange thing with yourself and John and the fragrance Brooklyn. I always say that smells like lemon. You said it smells like lemon. Officially it's orange. John says it's orange. So it's just perception. Lizzie says, I find that sandalwood goes very coconutty on me. Yeah, do you know what? It could be, I take it there is sandalwood in here. It could be that then. Like a really dry sandalwood. So not that rich sandalwood that you get in Samsara or Egoist, which is what Rich Mitch is wearing, but more of a dry sandalwood, a bit like you get in the Labo Santal 33. Also the new the brand called and perfumes, they've got a sandalwood one that's just called Sand, and that is made from a dead sandalwood. So it's a different way of harvesting sandalwood, and the tree's already dead, and therefore you get a drier note rather than the usual. Sandalwood can be kind of moist, spicy, rich, creamy, but this isn't like that. It's not really creamy to me. Empty, not one for a coconut accord. Lizzie, tend to find sandalwood goes for a coconut. Said that. Brian, there's a hidden coconut in several fragrance dubois for me, especially Oujon Intense. I get strong coconut in that, but it's not listed. Lizzie, I'll need to sniff this when I get home. I'm intrigued about this coconut you're getting. Well, I really hope that you don't pick up on it if you don't like it, Lizzie. But yeah, Carty can see the link between sandalwood and coconut, yes. And Elaine says sandalwood, one of my favourites, and black pepper. Oh yeah, I enjoy a little dash of black pepper in fragrances and on my food. So yeah, I do get the violet in here, but it's not too dominant. It's not a mega violet-y fragrance. To me it's sort of like a hint of fruit almost. I don't know. It's woodsy, it's sweet, and it's coconutty. I do think there's quite a lot of synthetics in this that are giving it that dry woodsy feel. I could be wrong, but I think there's a bit of Isoe Super. So I was saying it smells a bit like cedarwood, and Isoe Super cedarwood is supposed to smell sort of similar. Like, it's not harsh synthetic, it's not drying out the back of my throat, it's not a Sauvage dry down at all. It's better than that, way better than that. And there is this sort of, it's almost like the violet itself is a little bit fruity, almost like there's a touch of just a red berry nuance, just very slightly. It's a pretty fragrance. Not something I would hunt down or get too excited about, but yeah, if it's your jam, if you quite like dry woodsy scents, if you like non-existent coconut, you might like it. It's not super gourmand, but it's also not. It feels like it feels a bit to me like it just errs towards the gourmand category. I don't really know how I would categorise it. I would categorise it as a woodsy scent. Is it oriental? I don't really think it feels oriental. I don't know if there's any vanilla in here. It doesn't feel vanilla-y, but it does feel like there is a sweet note in here. To me, I'm getting a coconut. But there you go, coconut, just a hint of violet, and some dry, soft, translucent, clean woods. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave that one. Lizzie says, find it haunting, a bit ghostly. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it feels like it's quite ethereal and gentle. JC Russell's here. Hi there, how you doing today, my friend? Hi JC, good, thank you, how are you? Lizzie says it has elamine, that's lemon resin, which I really do like. Okay, I didn't pick up on it, so yeah, but that would probably be more of a top note, the lemony part of it, but who knows? Right, let's move on then. So, I think, have we got one more violety one, or no, I think we just had 3 violety ones, so we've done those, and we're going to now move on to the other one that Lizzie sent me, which is Rose Rouge from Van Cleef and Arpels. And this one, I have tried as well. Oh yeah, Lizzie says, well, at least it wasn't a hard thumbs down. No, definitely not a hard thumbs down. It's like that for me. Yeah, I'm ridiculously fussy these days, and as I said, my tastes have really changed as well. I seem to, I don't know what's going on. No, none of my rich fragrances, none of my heavy fragrances I'm really reaching for at all. And the ones that I really love, they feel slightly, I enjoy them, but they feel slightly overwhelming at the moment. So everything I'm liking is light. So yeah. But no, I think it's a nice fragrance. I mean, yeah, it's just not something that excites me, but it takes a lot. It takes so much to get me excited with perfumes these days. Then when I am, it's amazing. Anthony McCormack says hi, he's checking in. Hi Anthony. Yes, thank you Anthony for reminding me. If you are in the building, if you are watching or listening, and you haven't said hi, then do say hi, just send a little emoji over. It's health and safety. I can just make sure that if there's an emergency, that I can make sure you are led to safety. I can show you where the emergency lights are and the emergency exits. So do check in and say hi if you have not done already. Plus it's always nice to just say hi, isn't it? Perfumes of Pat says my taste has changed also. It's a weird feeling. It is really strange. It's if you'd have said to me 6 months ago, Claire, you're gonna buy loads of different Dior formulations and you're probably gonna wear Miss Dior 9 times out of 10 for weeks and weeks on the trot, I would have told you to bugger off, you're talking nonsense. I'd never in a million years do that because I'd get bored of it. So yeah, something weird's going on here. Lizzie says I'm reaching for fragrances that are very unseasonal. Our noses want what they want. Yes, it's true. It's really strange. So we've got Rouge, what do we call it? Rose Rouge. That's actually quite kind of difficult to say. Good job I'm not drinking. Rich Mitch says love vintage formulations. Yeah, especially with Miss Dior. And Rose Rouge is a rose patchouli fragrance with a bit of sweetness. It's kind of a jammy rose, I think, rather than a fresh watery rose. It's quite sweet, almost Turkish delight territory, not as sweet as the actual Turkish delight, but it's taken me in that direction. It's quite pretty. It's got a bit of freshness to it though. I think there might be a little bit of mandarin or orangey type thing going on in the opening. Something, a citrus accord that veers a touch more orange than lemon or bergamot, to me anyway. And it's almost like a sugar, like a little sprinkle of sugar. So a definite sweetness element. Oh, dry throat. Oh. I forgot to put my microphone on. I've done this before, haven't I? Okay. How's my sound now? Oh, such an idiot. No, I'm not. I'm not an idiot. We all make mistakes. How's my sound? Is it better? The microphone was on the floor. Lizzie says, definitely sweet and jammy, this one. Far sweeter in the opening. I think there's lots of raspberry and black currant. That makes sense. It does feel jammy. And I think usually it's red fruits can do that when you mix it with rose. I think that mixes really well, doesn't it? Tony says, I think being ill changes things. Some things that are heavy that you love, you might find too much, but I think it will come back. Yeah, hopefully it will. It's, yeah. Lizzie says, thought it was just me being deaf. Scott says, that's better. Can you start again, please? I wish I could. Wish I could. What's the time? Yeah, so do I love it? Of course not. Do I like it? Yes, it's a really nice rose fragrance. If someone was wearing this around me, I'd say they smell good. It's definitely a nice rose fragrance. So yeah, it's a bit fruity, it's a bit sweet, it's a bit fresh. You can definitely tell there's patchouli, but it's not overwhelming with the patchouli. But I think if you dislike patchouli, you probably want to stay away from it. Empty says, the industry does research on their compounds and chemicals, whether natural or synthetics, how it affects brain, being feeling or reminds of an individual of a memory, mainly to help cells, etc. Yeah. So Rouge by Van Cleef & Arpels. It's a nice rose fragrance. Again, I'm going to do that. Not something I'll be hunting down, but then, as I said, I'm just really fussy. I don't want a massive collection of fragrances that I just like. I'm only looking to add something if I love it, unless it's Misty or variation. Lizzie says, I find Rose Rouge an easy reach, nothing groundbreaking, really good, even the patchouli isn't bad. Yeah, agreed, definitely. Right then, so let's smell. I think that's Lizzie's one's done. So we're going to move on. I have one here that was sent to me by Irma, who is on Instagram as L'Amour de Parfums or L'Amour de Parfums. Irma, me and Irma have done a few little sample swaps lately. In fact, I need to send her something that I promised her ages ago. She has the most beautiful Instagram, which if you want to know, I can find it and do a link a bit later. Lizzie says, thanks Claire, always enjoy your thoughts. Thank you, Lizzie, for sending them my way. And I'm sorry that, you know, it's not all, oh, it's amazing, but you know me. Right, so what we have here is Amaraj Woman in Gold. As I said, it was sent to me by the lovely Irma, who has the most beautiful pictures on Instagram. And Woman in Gold is a rose fragrance. Is it Amaraj or Killian? John will tell me. I think it's Killian, isn't it? Rich Mitch says, if I could find you some older Miss Dior, would you be interested? Potentially, Rich, depends what it is and how much, but I'm trying not to buy anything at the moment, so hold back. Don't tempt me. Killian, says Lizzie. Okay, Woman in Gold by Killian. I really like this one, so I'm just going to completely give it away now that this one is a thumbs up. How do you describe the rose in this? To me, the scent is kind of soapy. And I know I moaned about soapiness earlier. I don't always love soapiness. I like this. I think you're right, Lizzie. I'm pretty sure you are. It's kind of a sweet rose, but it's not a jammy rose. It doesn't feel like it's fruity.
Well, there might be fruits in here, but it's in an entirely different way, an entirely different rose note to the one that we just smelled, or I just smelled and yabbered on to you about. This, why do I love this so much? I tell you what, it is a lot lighter than everything else. Not as in weak, but it's a lighter scent. It's a musky, clean scent. Kind of like, it's one of those, your skin but better, you've just showered, you've used the most expensive lotion, you've maybe got a little bit of talc scattered around your person, and a really nice rose that's sweet but neither jammy nor watery. It's almost like it sits in the middle. Kind of clean, fresh rose, but not in that hand cream way, but maybe a little bit more like a watery hand cream style rose than anything else. But because of the way it's paired with, my guess here is that there might be some aldehydes going on that they don't give it the sharpness that sometimes aldehydes do. So not a number 5 aldehyde, but that clean, soapy thing that aldehydes can sometimes do. It feels like there's a bit of that. There's something else that's giving it a little tartness, like a tart fruitiness, I think. Tony says he wants a man-smelling talc. Does anyone recommend a sort of a masculine scented talc that Tony might like? Is that to put on your moist bits, Tony? Yeah, this Woman in Gold, I really like it. It has amazing longevity. I've worn it. I've only got the little sample, but I've sprayed some at night and only been able to smell it the next day. It's not got a lot of development to my nose anyway. I mean, I've worn it a few times. It's in the same, it does similar things as Gallivant's Baccara. So there's something, I think it's like a musky iris, maybe there's ambre or something, musky and clean. I think I'm really liking musky and clean at the moment. Yeah, Woman in Gold gets my seal of approval. If a bottle came up cheap, I would buy this. I wouldn't pay full price, simply because I don't need anything at the moment. There's a couple of things I want more than anything else, so they're what I'm going to concentrate on. Elaine says florists do some nice men's talcs. Tony says it's to put on my balls after a shower. Rich says florist lime bath cubes, the smell of James Bond. So yeah, Kilian Woman in Gold is a really nice rose scent, and it gets my seal of approval, very much so. And how are we doing for time? Has anyone got the time? Let me know the time, because I've got someone coming round at 6. So we're going to go with, I've been meaning to talk about this fragrance for ages, and it's because it's so damn rich. I will try and review it, but I just can't, it's so rich, I can't quite bring myself at the moment with my weird taste thing going on. This is Rouge Surrey from, why has my mind gone blank? I was going to say from Lune Feline. It's from Atelier des Ors, and this was sent to me by Megan, who looks after the PR and the marketing side of Atelier des Ors, and she sent me this decant. It was very kind of her. And Rouge Surrey was their latest release, and it is an extremely rich cold weather fragrance that I can't quite bring myself to wear just yet. I think I need to get past this weird phase that I'm going through. Initially I thought it was because it was too warm for me to talk about this fragrance, because she sent it way back in the summer, but I think it's just, at the moment, it's just too rich, and that's to do with me rather than anything else. This is like a dried fruit. I think it's I'm not sure if it's dates. There's a dried fruit note, a bit like dates or raisins. It's it's fruity. It's incensey. It's very mysterious and Middle Eastern smelling. There's a genre of fragrances that are really popular for a reason, because they do smell really good, that have this dried fruit accord. Sometimes dried fruits make me feel sick. I don't know why. What's the Tom Ford one? Is it Tobacco Vanille? I don't like the dried fruit note in that. I don't always love a dried fruit note. In fact, it can scare me off fragrances. But I don't know if it's dried fruit as such, but it's like a date note or something like that in here. So the opening is really nice in this fragrance. It's not that at the moment, it's that. But the dry down gets amazing. I think if you like things like Tobacco Vanille and the tobacco, I don't know if there is tobacco in here. It feels like there might be some tobacco. And so it's like tobacco, dried fruits, but in quite a sweet way. I think there's some sweet resins and vanilla. I absolutely love the dry down. It's a very rich and it's ridiculously long lasting. It's crazy long lasting. If you had a bottle of this, it would last you years and years because it's so strong. You don't need much. And it's really nice. Like, it's the perfect cold weather scent, but for some reason it's just too rich for my taste at the moment. If you're looking for rich, you want something not rich Mitch, not ducky. If you're looking for a rich fragrance, it's a bit sweet, it's complex, it's interesting, but it's still really quite appealing. It's not going to be, there's no weird notes in here. It doesn't smell oudy. There's no animalic note, like animalic smelling stuff. It's just very appealing. Then I really recommend this one. Certainly get a sample and see for yourself. But I like it. It's just, at the moment, it's too rich for me. But this could be something that I would want to own, particularly once you get past sort of like the first hour. Something magical happens and it really does get quite special, but I can't quite remember how it goes now. I need to review it. I need to review it because I really think it's worth your attention. I'm going to have to get moving, I think. Has anyone given me the time yet? Drill bit, should we guess who you're expecting at 6? It's someone to come and buy my radiator cover because I'm getting rid of it. It's really bulky. Been meaning to get rid of it for ages. I've got 5 minutes. Well, I don't think I've even heard from them. Let me get my messenger up in case they've messaged me. Come on, messenger. I don't want to be yabbering onto you if they've messaged to say we're outside, because then maybe they haven't pressed the doorbell hard enough or something. It doesn't look like they have messaged, so we're okay. We're okay, I think. Let's just double check. Yep, doesn't look like they've messaged. I haven't heard the doorbell, so I think we are okay. 5 minutes and the Rolling Stones come on wearing Galan. Okay. James Bond didn't wear Flores 89. That's what Ian Fleming wore. Oh, yeah. I've heard that, yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to call it quits just in case the doorbell goes, and I'd rather say goodbye to you all now. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry that my speaker wasn't on, or my microphone wasn't on to start with. I hope that that didn't matter and it sounded okay. And I will catch you all very, very soon. Bye.